And there are other economic consequences.
There are really a lot of economic implications when it comes to gridlock, but I'll streamline them down to two. So we have inflationary impact, and we also have labor productivity. So typically, looking at the Apapa roads, they're in a dilapidated state, and a stretch that should take you about a couple of minutes it's now taking you about a couple of hours. And if an average employee spends that much on the road, by the time they get to their place of work, the amount of productivity or level of productivity they could produce at place of work has been reduced to a bare minimum. But that's one side of the story. Another impact of this gridlock is the fact that you have inflationary pressures. So typically, whenever manufacturers are making orders, they're ordering for a specific period of time. Eventually that'll last them a specific period of time. And so if you have such a gridlock, you have a delay in delivering, you have prolonged delivery days. And so typically, even at the ports, you're already spending about 14 days clearing your goods. And so now you leave the ports and then you come onto the roads, and then you spend numerous hours trying to get to your destination. So you could have scarcity of goods in that sense. But that's just another side of the story. Now let's look at refined petroleum products, which is what typically everybody uses in Nigeria. And most of these tankers, if you look at Apapa roads now, it's pretty much like a trailer park, because you have a lot of trailers there, a lot of tankers there trying to get their products. And with the traffic jam, it makes it difficult for some of these tankers to even be able to move to the private depots to get the refined petroleum to take them to where they are needed. So if things aren't taken care of time, you could have another case of fuel scarcity. And we all know what happens when fuel scarcity. You can see the pump price of petrol going to 200, 300 in some places. So it's very important that this gridlock is sorted out as soon as possible, because the economic implications are pretty severe.
More negative effects of this logjam include higher chances of collisions due to tight spacing and constant stopping and going, wasted fuel, which increases air pollution and carbon dioxide emissions, pollutants that affect the lungs. The World Health Organization says that air pollution is to be blamed for 3.2 million preventable deaths worldwide every year. Other effects are wear and tear on vehicles as a result of idling in traffic and frequent acceleration and braking, leading to frequent repairs and replacements, economic loss to individuals. There are also stressed and frustrated motorists, encouraging road rage and reduced health of motorists. Stress has been the cause of many attacks on car drivers and has even resulted in several deaths. Disorders attributed to stress include hypertension, headache, backache, skin disorder, ulcer, and stress is also believed to contribute to coronary heart disease and in some cases cancer. There have been many observations as to the cause of this unpleasant situation.
You don't site tank farms on the same road where you have a port, less than 50 meters to the port. These are heavy-duty trucks, and they ply the same roads that are not being repaired. And because of the heavy-duty trailers, not even the petroleum product trucks and our own trucks, the road can contain these heavy-duty trucks at the same time. Tank farms are built. You understand? You can site a tank farm at least 200, 300 meters away from the port. It doesn't have to be very close to the port. No, it doesn't have to. Because by the time these ports were there, the tank farms were not there. The tank farms started about 10 years ago or 11, 12 years ago. And ever since then, we'll be having this challenge on the road. So it's the government duty, because there was a time they were discussing that a tank farm can be relocated to Ikorodu. And up till now, nothing has been done about it. And even talking about the tank farm, if not for importation, we wouldn't have tank farms. It's just because of importation that we have tank farms very close to the port, yeah.
Lack of drainage, or at least functioning drainage, also makes it to the list. Even if there were drainages, the heaps of waste and rubbish is sure to affect its effectiveness. To handle this issue, the public outcry is a permanent construction and rehabilitation of the roads, a move which many hope will be given attention with the signing into law of the 2017 budget.
Since when we started implementing the budget, at least I can say confidently now that I don't think that there's any state in the Federation where there's not one road work or the other going on. Some started late because of weather issues. There are still bad roads, without a doubt. And let me again reiterate very clearly, not all the roads in Nigeria are bad, especially the federal road, not all of them. But you have sections that have failed. So you may have a road like 200 kilometers, about 30 kilometers of it has failed. That speaks to a lack of maintenance that didn't happen at the time it should have happened and all of that. But by the by, we're beginning to inch forward, moving people back to work, mobilizing contractors back to site. As I say, our work is we're in a results business, and until the results manifest, all of the efforts really mean nothing. So I can only say to Nigerians, I hear them loud and clear, the government hears them loud and clear, we know how tough it is, but history tells me that we will overcome this in the way that we have overcome some of our more difficult challenges.
To ease pressure on the road, alternative means of transportation is also suggested.
And I've always thought there should be a rail network alongside that road to help move, for instance, empty containers. You know, there are a lot of, trucks or trailers coming that way. Some are coming back with empty containers, some are, loading off from the ports and taking them to the point where they will be needed. So I think if you have a rail system that could assist in this, shipping of goods from the port to the point of where they will be needed or the point of destination, I think that would assist in easing the traffic congestion in that area, because even motorists, the private or commercial buses aren't able to move. You have a couple of average citizens having to take the motorbike to get to their place of destination. The roads in itself are really bad, and when it starts raining, it gets really bad.
And the call for relocation of the tank farms.
The concentrations of tank farms within Apapa, the port environment, is something that has done so much damage to port operation, as far as I'm concerned. I don't know why it's designed like that. I don't know why we have so many tank farms around here. I'm sure I'm stepping on toes, but the fact is that the truth must be said. If you look at here in this office now, I can count how many tank farms that I'm surrounded by. And God forbid if any of them blows up, that's the end of Apapa. And that's how we are operating in this environment. And then you have the port operation. Time is of essence to port operation. Time is of essence to ship, discharge of ship, lay time of ships. These are all the things that actually add up to delay in discharge of vessels. Because when the trucks cannot access the port, they don't have free access to ports as it used to be in those days. I mean, you just can't discharge the vessels as quickly as you should. And that adds also to the cost of doing business in this sector. It adds to the cost of commodities in the market, cost of everything. So these are areas that I need to be critically looked at, that government needs to do something decisive.
Wasted time, wasted man hours is equal to wasted revenue that would have accumulated into the purse of the country. This means that this issue of Apapa and infrastructure, especially the roads, needs urgent attention. Well, that's it on this episode of Big Story. I'm Imi John Mekwa.